it's PredaKing79 here, and I'm back with a Transformers review. After a few Rock Lords, it's time to have a look back at another G1 figure from 1987. This is, of course, Chromedome, one of the original Autobot Headmasters. And I've been meaning to review this guy for a long time, but I never actually had a complete one until very recently. I picked one up at Auto Assembly a couple of years ago, but his little Headmaster companion, Stylor, was missing his arms, and it wasn't until about 3-4 months ago that I managed to pick up a complete one, a complete Stylor with arms from courtesy of Mad Planet from Full Metal Hero, so thank you for that. So yeah, I managed to get hold of this guy, and I thought it was time that I did a review of him. I haven't reviewed a Headmaster for a little while, so you know, there we go. So enough waffling and all that bollocks. Bit about Chromedome. Obviously came out 87, one of the original Autobot Headmasters. Comes with a couple of guns as well, along with Hardhead, Highbrow and Brainstorm. Featured a bit in the comics at the time when Headmasters were released. They obviously did the Headmasters Marvel series, which Chromedome appeared quite prominently in, and he also appeared in the Marvel UK Headmasters stories to tie in with a new toy line, because obviously this was at the time Headmasters with a new thing, and Hasbro wanted to promote them a lot, so obviously they feature prominently in fiction. And of course he's one of the prominent characters in the animated series The Rebirth, which is probably one of my favourite of the original Sunbow cartoons. I watched The Rebirth loads and loads of times as a kid, along with the original movie. It was sort of my main exposure to the cartoon. I didn't watch a lot of the cartoon as a kid, but The Rebirth was awesome. So enough talking about that. Let's have a look at the toy itself. We'll go back to Style in a minute. Obviously, car mode. He's a pretty cool car. He's obviously a futuristic Cybertronian kind of thing. Plastic wheels. I mean, this is a relatively beat up example of the main bot. I will possibly at some point replace it, but it's okay. It's not broken, but it's got a few scuffs here and there. The guns can fit on the top here, like so. So it looks like kind of crazy sort of combat car or something, I don't know. Off they come, and the cockpit opens up and it allows Stylor to fit in and drive the vehicle, which I always thought was an awesome feature of the Headmasters, that the Nebulian companions, the heads, could ride around in the vehicle modes or beast modes for the Decepticons, which is why I always prefer the Headmasters to the Target Masters. Target Masters are still cool, of course, but Headmasters I've always preferred. So yeah, not much more to say really about the car mode. It's, you know, a car. So we'll go ahead and have a look at Stylor. Oops, let me just fold that up because that is supposed to. Oops. Okay, so there we are. Bit of arm articulation. You've got to be very careful with these guys, because so many of these turn up with arms missing, and if you get one that's in nice condition, just be very careful, because you could quite easily snap the little pegs for the arms, so be very careful when you're moving the arms. Anyway, there is arm articulation, there is kind of crazy goose stepping knee articulation, but it's all just part of the transformation really. And then you know, this back panel covers up Chromedome's face, so we'll go ahead and transform it, which is obviously just that, and that pops up, and there we have Chromedome's face. As with all the first wave of Autobot Headmasters, or in fact all the original Headmasters, these can become quite loose, so bear that in mind. So you might have one that just flops in front of his face all the time, which is obviously no good. So these things are very fragile, and this is the key sort of thing when you pick up Headmaster, is make sure that the head is in decent condition. Robot mode then. all very straightforward. Takes about 10 seconds to transform, maybe even less than that. There you go. Not exactly the most complicated. Head pops on there, and there we go. Robot mode. He's a nice robot mode. He's very tall. He's certainly one of the taller of the Audible Headmasters. People give him a bit of stick for his lack of hands, and yes, he doesn't have hands. He just has some holes to put his guns in, which is kind of sucky. But other than that, you know, he's a nice, decent robot mode. Hasn't got any articulation at all apart from the arms, which just go like, you know, little clicky G1 goodness. But there's no leg articulation. There's a little bit of tippy toe articulation if you want that, but obviously that's just a part of the transformation. He's got his deck spec readout. Oh, the lighting's not particularly great today, apologies for that. Deck spec readout, like so. So you can see that he is intelligent, but not very strong, and not very fast. Poor Chromedome. But he was always a scientist, wasn't he? So yeah, robot mode. There's not really anything to worry about too much for the main figure itself. I mean, it's a very durable toy, decent, strong plastic that ages pretty well. I mean, so this is a beat up example, and it's not particularly bad. Obviously, it's got some pretty horrible sticker wear on there, but you know, you can easily rectify the repro labels these days. So yeah, just the thing is, just be mindful of the head, and make sure that it's got the arms and that it's got the visor thing, and it's not too beat up, and try and get one complete, because as with all sort of G1 toys, getting them piece by piece can be a nightmare and can be well expensive. So cost price, well, he's probably the cheaper of the 4 original Autobot Headmasters, in that he goes for around about the £40 mark. I think that's probably for a couple of reasons. Partly because there's a lot of them are out, so they're cheaper, and the reason for that being that he's probably more durable of the 4 of them. He hasn't got parts that can easily break, like say Brainstorm's wings or the rotor blades on Highbrow. He's fairly durable, so therefore there's more of them around, and therefore they are cheaper because there's more. And also I think he's probably, well, this is just me guessing, but I imagine he was probably more popular, one of the more popular ones for kids to pick up, I should say, at the original release, because he's a car, and cars generally used to sell better than other things. But I mean, he's probably the weakest as a toy of the 4 original bots, but he's still pretty cool. So yeah, 40 quid, worth picking up. Parts wise, the guns go for about a tenner each, which is a bit stupid really, but that's how much they go for. And the Headmasters go for, you know, £20 to £25 a head. So it's cheaper, but not by much, but it is cheaper to get it all together if you can do. So there's a nice quick review for you, and I shall see you very, very soon. So I hope you enjoyed that, and yeah, bye for now. Bye.